Yo Yo what's good สบายดีคนลาว What up ฮัมจังได้ฮัมน้อย You know what I'm saying It's logo on the mic Shout to Alex Hanasakda G Bloods Talking loud radio You know what I'm saying What up AK Let's go Yeah Talking loud worldwide เป็นรายการ radio มีแต่สาระหน้าหูที่จะเอามาโชว์ให้พวกท่านได้หูให้พวกท่านได้เห็นอันใดที่คักคนลาวก็เฮ็ดเป็น
ส่งเสียงห้องโฆษณาไปจากเมืองลาวให้พี่น้องครับผู้ที่อยู่เมืองหนาวบอกว่าจะอยู่บนใดอย่าลืมความเป็นลาวตำบักหุ่งลาบก้อยข้าวเหนียวเหล้าขาว
Yeah Make sure y'all tuning in y'all you know what I'm saying G Bloods in the house What up Alex Peace
Check it out, everybody. We're back for our 4th episode of Talking Loud Radio. We had to skip a weekend due to, the holidays, and we were just both really busy.
Gobble, gobble.
But we're glad to be back with our guest coming up today is Jonny motherfucking khene Olsen. We're going to talk about some cool shit with him.
That's not his real title, though, right?
Motherfucking. I know he goes by Jonny Olsen. I don't know. I've heard khene Olsen. No motherfucking Olsen. I had to add that in there. But yeah, we had a. How was your Thanksgiving, dude?
It was pretty good. Yeah, I actually did moving. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You moved on Thanksgiving
to a smaller town. Who would have thought? I went from a small town to even smaller.
What's the population there? 400, dude. That's pretty bad. You're probably like the only Asian motherfucker there too, huh?
Yeah.
Wasn't your landlord like kind of old Vietnam War vet that was giving you shit about?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. He was a former Marine like me, so that probably helped me get in there.
Yeah, if you had no credentials, that definitely I'm sure helped you out.
Yeah.
But yeah, mine was pretty good, man. I hung out with the family a lot. I kind of was waiting for it to get over, man, because all I was doing was literally eating, drinking, sleeping, repeat.
So same every weekend.
This was consistent though, man. Like I couldn't take a break from it. It was like,
What'd you guys do with the turkey? Fried it, baked it?
I actually I roasted it. I brined it for a day. Do you know what brining is? Sam?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we brined it. We roasted the next day. It was pretty good, man. I of course I'm always the one doing most of the cooking, but it was good, man, to see family and shit. Got to spend some time with my mom. But overall, it was fun. It was good to take a break too. I mean, I think we were, for those out there listening, I don't think people really know what we're all doing here. I mean, we're talking to guests every day. I'm trying to figure out a format when they get them on. But yeah, so just bear with us with if we're not consistent. We're supposed to be pushing out podcasts every weekend, but that's our goal, and hopefully we can bring that to you consistently. But man, what's been on my mind lately is all the shit over the news about the Syrian refugees. Have you been following that at all?
A little bit, yeah.
What's your take on that? I mean, us being first generation war babies and refugees too, is it just like history repeating itself, where the American public's scared of what they don't know, and then you get media involved? I'm totally pro. I'm for them coming in. I mean, why can't I be? I mean, what other argument they have besides like some scare tactic that the government uses through media or?
Yeah, no, I agree, but I think just maybe special or just extra screening process with this, just because of the area and stuff like that, and just people trying to sneak through the cracks and stuff like that.
So you think the people that are pro refugees from Syria coming in they might be a little too black and white, whereas like, oh, just let them all come in, or should we take precautions like what you just said is maybe some extra screening should be done?
Yeah, I think precautions because in the state of, war we're in, the war and terror. I don't think any extra precautions wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I see your point. Do you hear what Chapo said?
No.
He said my men will fuck up ISIS. Chapo's like, bring him on to Mexico. That guy's so crazy, man. He comes like out of a Breaking Bad movie.
Like I said, I'm not saying like no to bringing refugees in, because we've done it always in the past. But it's humanitarian. But I'm just saying we got to be extra careful, I think.
But you can make that statement for us as being considered communist refugees too. Like the communists are going to take over the world. Oh no! Like it's always a new issue with whatever demographic of refugee is coming over. There's always something that's there's always some kind of scare tactic behind that we push out to our people here in America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. The propaganda of it all, but I mean, let's face it. Communism is a little bit different than terrorism. I mean, yeah, similar end results, but just harboring and having people come in without any sort of screening, I think just it just opens up too many windows.
Yeah, I mean, that incident that happened last weekend in California, San Bernardino? Is that where it happened? Those guys were they actual citizens of America then, or?
I mean, I don't know if we all know the whole story, but for the most part, she came in as a fiance, right?
Wait.
She came in
as a killer.
Yeah,
okay.
It was a couple, and they were married, but she came in as a fiance, visa, and like I said, we don't know the whole story, but these shootings seems to happen every month.
Dude, what the fuck is up with the world, man?
I don't know.
Maybe did you hear those chemtrails, that conspiracy? Maybe we should use that and just put like a really strong amount of THC in it and just fucking go over the world with it, man. People need to chill the fuck out, dude. Like,
I know.
It's crazy, dude. Now, see the news I get and the information I get, I don't watch media because I know how biased they can be.
Mm-hmm.
But I do glance through it on my Facebook news feed, and it's just ridiculous the shit I see with it. More so towards like the scared American, like the person that's to the right, like, oh, fucking Muslims are bad, their whole religion's bad. Like, and it's so hard for me to keep my mouth shut with it, man. And when I open it, I lose so many friends, which whatever, I don't give a shit. But it's funny when I retaliate back, and not even retaliate. I just to give them a perspective, like, dude, you're fucking retarded to believe everything you read on the news or see on Facebook media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think the general, citizen is just, they're tired of it, right? Like, and it seems like the same old arguments come out. The left jump on, gun rights, and, then, the NRA is protecting their rights, and there's that whole, like you said, the Muslim fear, and it's just the same rhetoric, but nothing really, we're not really getting into the issue of any of it, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, we're divided. That's really what it is. There's people to the right that are really extreme with it. There's people to the left that are really extreme with their way of thinking. And, really, like what Bruce Lee said, there's always a middle path, right? Like the Buddha even said it. Like there's a fucking middle path where we gotta come to a compromise. I mean, globally, but internally, I mean, in America right now, I think there's a lot of idiots here in this country, and I feel that you really can't. I sound like an asshole just to be like, these guys are idiots because they're patriotic and they hate Muslims. Now, can they? I mean, do they have a right? Not a right, but a moral right to think that way. I mean, being a Christian nation and all. Like let's be honest here. Most of the people that are saying this are pretty, they proclaim to be Christian and, they're good God people, but they're doing the total opposite, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't even think it's even all the right, and I don't think it's necessarily Muslim hating either. I think you're kind of concentrating on a far right, which I understand, but there's a lot of people in the middle here that there's a lot of views out there.
Yeah, maybe that's part of the media, the liberal media getting in my head too, where I think all Christians are fascists, Republicans, or whatnot. It's hard not to think that though, man. Like being around it so much in my life, it's just like I assume, which I shouldn't, but I'd probably say 85% of the time, if you're a Christian, you voted for George Bush, and you're very patriotic, you're kind of not as open-minded as an American I would hope to see my citizens be, or our citizens be. Is that too assumptuous?
Yeah, I think it's a bit too assumptuous. You're probably talking about a minority, within the Christian group and stuff too.
Yeah, there are good Christians out there, man. That I'm not. I hate. See, this is where I correct myself all the time because I know some really great Christians that are. It's kind of like the whole, juxtaposed to the whole is the ISIS and Muslim thing. They have the same shit. There's really good Muslims and there's radicals. And I hate to have to check myself every once in a while because I don't want to repeat that behavior or that train of thought really. But
I mean, what truly do you think could stop these shootings or at least hinder them? I mean, if you look at it from more of a step back, a more broad perspective. I mean, what is it? Is it? It doesn't seem like giving access to guns. That doesn't seem to be the one thing that would do anything to this. It doesn't seem to be a mental disorder or anything. And you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It seems like it's just people who panic and just go for it for some reason and just take it out on other people. I don't get it.
Well, that's a really a broad, subject to talk about, man. I mean, I could say what would stop terrorism or like a conflict with Middle Eastern countries. I think definitely our foreign policy is what causes a lot of, what happened with 9/11, what happens, that's what's happening now with ISIS is like.
But I mean, in the homeland. Do you think we're just too bipolarized that people are just waiting to snap?
I'm pro-gun. I think, the good guys, the bad guys when they have the guns already. And if you can secure yourself with a gun to protect your family, you're going to be a lot safer. And that's where I'm pro-gun because we can't, let's be real here, we can't eradicate all firearms from the American public. And ultimately, the cliche, if we do, you're taking the good guns away from, or the guns away from the good people that, will protect themselves.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here. So you're saying, like, if people go with what you're saying, then every citizen would have a gun. And that would essentially stop gunslinging, or because, a perpetrator knows that you are armed, but he's armed as well. That doesn't just escalate to who's the better shooter then, and who's got the bigger gun?
No, you're okay. So I'm glad you justified saying it's a hypothetical, but ultimately, I mean, I'm sure if any robber or anyone that was trying to commit like a crime, whether it's robbery, murder, they think twice because they know someone's fucking strapped. You know what I mean? I mean, I've never robbed anyone or I never did anything of the sort. But if I was like, hey, I'm going to go in this home and, steal whatever I want out of there. If I knew the guy had a gun, I'd probably try to move on to a more safer place where I can do that kind of.
Okay. But there wouldn't be any way. One of my point is the paradigm would be everyone has a gun. So there actually wouldn't be a place so you would have to choose the guy with the, I don't know, lesser gun or less equipped gun, or I don't know. But okay, if we're going with this hypothetical of arming everyone, let's go with the other hypothetical where no one's armed, which I agree is an impossibility in America, but it does happen in islands like Japan and Singapore.
They're not armed in
No,
Japan?
there's
Really?
no weapons.
So it's
not
totally
even
illegal.
cops.
Really?
Yeah. So, and obviously gun violence is down because violence is going to happen with like, knives, bats. I mean,
Well, that's
you know.
Sam, they're violating your rights there as an American.
Yeah.
But
so,
I mean, there's never gonna be a perfect utopian world. Japan might be the closest to it if what you're saying is true. But yeah, I mean, in hindsight, to have a perfect utopian world, I would say there's no guns, no weapon. When guns are they're a different. Let's be honest, they're a different kind of weapon.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not a fucking dart or a knife.
Right. You can semi-protect yourself or at least see something coming with a knife or a bat. I mean,
Yeah.
Someone who wants to do harm is going to do harm anyways. I mean, bombs are even worse than guns. Let's be real,
Right.
But I guess I'm not for like, guns that spray, Uzis.
Like automatic guns.
Yeah.
Like meant for
I mean,
war.
right. I think our National Guard should have that. And if it ever comes to we're being attacked on the homeland and we would go to the armory or our National Guard and just, arm ourselves or whatever the case is. But, I mean, single pistols or shotguns are deadly enough. But the ability to do like mass shootings in that scale, I don't think is needed. That
Can you buy a machine gun or a Uzi? Like, I don't know.
apparently you can.
Yeah, is that off the black market? Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know too much about it, but in some sense, I do agree with you. Where who needs? Screw your fucking selfish rights. Who needs, a fucking semi-automatic weapon? Who needs that?
Well, there's a small, portion that believe that the government is going to turn on the citizens, just like, the Civil War days or the, and a militia would have to be assembled. And some people...
That's what's happening right now. Oh, remember that, the Planned Parenthood thing? Like, it's the fear. I think fear is what is making all this chaos here, man.
Right.
I really do. Like, the Muslims are scared of like Christianity. The Christians are scared Muslims are going to take over the way of life. Fucking the white man's scared of the black man. I don't know why. Well, where the black people should be scared, the black race should be more fearful of their institutionalized racism. That the list could go on. There's always something, and we live in a society of fear.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And the media tends to emphasize it, right? Every time you watch the news, it's so like weird. So negative.
It is.
It's like, girl saves cat from the tree. Now on to the shooting
Johnny's
in
calling
Mexico.
right now.
Oh, all right.
Here he is. Hello,
Hello?
Johnny.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
We're live right now. Hey, thanks for calling in, man.
Oh, you're welcome.
How you doing, man? Sorry about that. That was a little chaotic there. We were going
Oh, yeah,
on.
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm glad that we got to contact each other and
Yeah,
go through
definitely.
with everything.
I really appreciate your time here. This is my co-host Sam.
How you doing?
Sam, if you know Johnny
Hi,
Olsen.
Sam. How you doing?
All right.
So Johnny, dude, like I've known you. I feel like I know you, but this is pretty much we conversated a few times before. But I've been following your career for a really long time. As young as I can remember when the internet came out. I'm like, who is this?
Wow.
Who's this white dude playing the can? Like, holy shit! And he speaks better loud than me. I'm like, who is this guy? So definitely inspired by your work, Johnny. And it's good.
I'm very flattered. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Keeping up with the Lao community and whatnot.
Yeah, I love to play the can.
So yeah, why don't you give a little introduction to just people who don't know you, or just a little bit about your background.
Okay, well, I was born in California. So yeah, like a California kid, I grew up skateboarding and doing all those kind of things. And the way I got into playing the can is that I used to work at a Thai restaurant with one of my skateboard friends because he knew the owner. And then, they invited me to go to Thailand.
Wow.
And that's where I found the can over there in a shopping mall.
Wow.
So, it was a little can, like it was more like a souvenir, but I played it and I thought, like, wow, that's a really cool sound. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
now,
I just kept playing that.
Were you, I mean, you got to be a fast learner. I mean, last night when I was watching your videos, I'm like, this guy adapted really quick. What did you play music before you picked up the can?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. Actually, I was in a band called LAO, which spells, Lao, right? So it's kind of funny back then,
Right.
Have you ever seen those, like a bumper sticker that people put on their car, the Lao one?
No, I
It's
haven't.
like LAO. It's like a circle and it says Lao.
Huh.
But it was totally unloud related though, right?
No, it is Lao related.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a Lao bumper sticker. It's like a really simple one. It's a circle, and it spells out Lao. And like it was, they had that back, probably what was in the 90s, when I was in the punk rock band. So we thought that they were fans of our band because we didn't know back then about Laos, So it was kind of funny, but it was a good omen, for me. Because now I love loud music. I'm playing loud music, singing loud music. So that's
if you could pick up where you left off. So you go to Thailand, you find a can, and I mean, I know the similarities with Thai and Laos are really close. What kind of ventured you off towards the Khun Lao side of everything, where you could have been like a star in Thailand as well,
Oh well, okay. I stayed at my friend's village, and that's in the northeast part of Thailand, which is, with the Isan people or Lao people, same thing, same culture, where they eat sticky rice and play can, as Lao people, are eating padak and those things, are living in the house with stilts and, So, that's how I got into, the Lao side, and I learned more about the history of, where the can originated from, when I crossed over the border into Vientiane, they told me history because, in Thailand, so now they know more because of the internet and everything, but I don't know if they knew that before, kind of like a lost part of the history, sort of.
Yeah, definitely. Chef Pet.
Oh yeah, hey, and sorry, I kind of sometimes I'm all over the place,
no, it's fine, man.
With certain things, it's like, you were asking me before about, how come I learned so quick, and did I play music before? Yeah, actually, I was a singer in that band, that Lao band, the punk rock band called LAO, and I used to play keyboard, and so I kind of all self-taught, and the way I picked up on the Lao language is I just listened and then just kind of remembered it and just did it like that. So I have like an ear for tones, I guess.
You definitely
it's
do.
easy for me to pick it up. Yeah.
I mean,
because when I learned can with my teacher, it was like a Simon Says kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, who was your teacher? Yeah. I seen some video where what's his name, Johnny? He's kind of old, older guy, bald.
His name is Somdi Luangnikorn. He actually passed away. Yeah, he had a heart attack, unfortunately, and he wasn't able to get to the doctor soon enough.
Wow, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Now,
I kind of did like a ritual or ceremony for him over here because I wasn't there in Laos to kind of like I forget what they call it, but I went to the temple and all his favorite stuff, they kind of like say a prayer or chant, and then they kind of send those things up, to him, all of his favorite things. And bless him and, all those kinds of things.
Wow, that's wild. I'm kind of random too, Johnny. So if I'm like on one subject and I totally change my I might jump to a totally unrelated subject, but I'll try to.
Oh yeah, that's fine. We'll just ramble on,
Yeah,
whatever
definitely.
you want to talk about.
Now, Johnny, another guy that fascinates me that plays the can is I think he's from Thailand, a blind guy. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, his name is Sombat Simla, and he's also another one of my teachers that I learned from.
That guy is amazing. Holy cow! Is he?
Yeah.
Is he still around?
Oh yeah, he lives in Mahasarakam. So he's been playing can since he was 6 years old,
Wow.
and now he has to be like in his late 50s. Because when I first met him, I think he was like 42 or something like that.
That's crazy. So, all in all, you just fell in love with the can, and you kind of have to be obsessed, right? With
Yeah, that's
Lao
right. That's why
culture.
that song. Have you heard that one? It's called "Koi Ma Can." That song's all about being like pretty
Yeah.
much obsessed with the can.
Oh man, yeah, that was
Yeah, all the great can masters, they're just like really into the can. That's how you get good at it. You got to
right.
keep practicing.
Definitely. Now, are you okay? So besides like touring, all over the states here, where has your passion for Laos culture, playing the can, where has that taken you globally, dude?
Oh, globally outside of America?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to France and I've been to Sweden and Taiwan, and I did some shows in Laos and in Thailand.
Wow.
And then Canada, Canada is kind of like, America is like what neighbor, I guess,
Right.
same continent. So like, Europe and Asia, America.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Where Kun Lao, being around so many different countries where Kun Lao are located, do you notice a difference with like the Kun Lao in American, or Kun Lao in Europe to Australia?
No, actually, the only difference is that they don't speak English. They never speak the language of that country.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and in fact, like speaking of other countries, I did get invited to go to Dubai, but during that time it was like sketchy, like for American tourists to be over there. You know what I mean?
Right. Wow. Dubai.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure about that. I kind of had to say I can't do it at the time. So.
Yeah. That's...
But Kon Lao everywhere around the world are all like really nice, and they're nobody's different. You know what I mean? Very welcoming,
Right.
Hospitable. Always like making you feel at home, and always cooking like really delicious food, and like wherever you go, like Lao people are always like warm hearted.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Everyone can
Yeah.
be like an aunt or a cousin, even though you never met them before.
Yeah, I feel like family, right. Yeah, that's the thing about a lot of people. They immediately make you feel like you're family. It's like, wow, very impressive, to me, and just like, wow, it's great. Yeah. That's what I love about a lot of people. And of course, the culture, the music, a lot of different things.
So how many in your career, how many do you have albums put out there, and how many you're at, or?
I have a total of 3 singing albums, and then one of me playing can.
Johnny,
Yeah.
personally, this is me being selfish, but this is a kind of a loaded question statement, but like, I like it when you just solo the can. I like the old folk, like Lum, man. I love the old school Lum. Are you are you more into that, or are you in more to like the mainstream poppy stuff? Like, I've seen a few rap videos that you did, and
Yeah.
do you like everything in related to the can, or do you have a personal preference with the can? Like, would you rather be smoking some opium on the Mekong River and just whacking on the thing?
Alex is really old school, and he's just pushing his own inner.
No, like selfishly, I love.
But what do you like? You like the real old Molam, right?
Yeah, I love Molam. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I started. Like when I first went to Thailand, I wanted to learn just that.
Okay.
What they call Molam Kon, right?
Right.
But my teacher, she's the one that had the idea to make an album, for me, because when I first went to Thailand, like I just want to learn about khene, right? Like that was my first purpose. And then, so like I was learning how to do that and all the old styles and stuff. And then I found a teacher that teaches Molam, and then she kind of had like more of a kind of mainstream, like you're saying, like more poppy kind of sound to it. You know, because I guess that's what's in these days. And so
they were trying to get you rich, huh? that's how you get the money, I guess.
Yeah, I think she kind of, you know, she have her certain intentions, you know, but she's really nice, really helpful, and very, how can I say, supportive of me, you know, very kind of proud that, hey, you know, here's a foreigner that wants to learn about our music, you know what I mean?
Right.
And because I learned a little bit of Molam Lumlong, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Lumlong?
Yeah. My dad would listen to a lot of Lumlong.
Yeah, so I sang a little bit of that to her, and she was like, wow, how did this white guy know about this stuff, you know? So then she felt like, wow, she got to teach me, and then, you know, but she turned it more into kind of like a, you know, mainstream kind of thing, you know what I mean? But I do prefer the old Molam, you know, when I play khene.
I do prefer it. I think there's a really good market in that, Johnny. I think if you went towards that market a little more, man, like, or is, you know, before like
I'd like to even play khene, you know, for you know, Molam too. You know, I'd be versatile, you know what I mean? Like collaborate with people.
For sure.
But the record label like said for the last one, that Molam Hip Hop is called. They mix Molam with hip hop, like the Laos style.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the guy that sings with me, his name is Nhot Singh Atit. So it was his idea to invite me to be, you know, on the album, and then the company sponsored that, and so I was like, okay, that's cool, you know, because the first two albums I pay for myself, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I would hate to see a dirty hippie from the West come over and take that market away from you, Johnny. Like, you know,
what, say it again?
I would hate to see, like, you know, once the khene becomes popular, you're gonna get all these hippies, you know, that kind of exploit it a little more. But I'd hate to see them take that market away from you, where you were the first one from the West to come over there. I'm just saying, there's a market for that, like a really good Molam country.
Oh yeah, I think some other, you know, foreigners go and sing, but they kind of, I think they do like a rock music, but I don't know if there's. I think maybe I saw another video, some other you know, white guy, or they call Falang, you know, singing with the song. But yeah, whatever, you know, there's always gonna be, you know, other people that want to do it because they love it. You know what I mean? They love the culture like I do. You know.
Definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, hey, go ahead and do it. You know, it's not a big deal. Cause it's all good.
See, that's what I like about you. I mean, for being, you know, kind of like the first, you know, Western to khene, you know, to kind of be famous. You're just like, whatever. It gives more shine to Laos ultimately, is what you're saying, right? The more people.
I just want for me, it's more about the Lao culture, promoting the Lao culture. And in fact, I do teach khene on the internet. I teach it through Skype.
Okay.
And I have like students like around the world. I have like a student I teach in Hong Kong and then Japan.
Wow.
And I have some people in Thailand that they're interested, you know, in certain kind of techniques that I play. And then I got people here in America, you know, that want to learn how to play khene.
Does he know our next guest that you said teaches it, doesn't it, as well here? One of our.
He does?
Oh, okay. So the next guy on our podcast, he should be here in a minute. Hopefully, he can come here while you're still on with us. But Ake, he has a nonprofit here in Wisconsin where he teaches, you know, anyone that wants to learn Laotian instruments, Lao instruments, you know, from is the Fin, that's more traditional Thai, right? Fin.
Oh, Pin, right?
Yeah. So he teaches that.
Yeah, you know what? The Lao way of saying Pin is Kachapi.
Kachapi, okay.
Yeah, so Kachapi is a little bit different than the Pin. Pin is like more kind of like northeast Thailand.
Okay.
Made a spin off the Kachapi. And you know, the Pong Lang, that's more of a Thai, like Isan instrument.
Wow, I'm getting a history lesson by Falang, man. I'm
But all those people in Isan have the Lao blood flowing through their veins. So you know what I mean?
yeah, Johnny. Now, when you
So-
were there, I mean, I'm getting off subject a little again, but was there like a gap, or like was it segregated with Puisan and the Thai people? Like, was there a divide? Did the Thais look down on the northern, the Isan region there? Or?
Yeah, I think today, these days, it's getting better, but yeah, there was kind of like that. But I stayed in Isan most of the time. You know what I mean? And what I thought was interesting is that when I was an English teacher, the kids in the school would call themselves Lao, and I'm like, wow, they know the history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they have to speak Thai in the school. You know what I mean? Because I guess those are rules or whatever. But as soon as they get out of the classroom, they start to speak Lao.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you also?
But the Thai Bangkok, they know when you come from the Eastern, they'll know. Oh, okay, that's Kon Lao, or I think, what do they say in I forgot what they call Eastern people. They call them Lao, but then the Eastern people say that they're Thai Eastern or something like that.
Yeah, it's such a there's so many weird labels in that. It's hard, like Lao Mu, the Lao Tai Dam, and there's so many. I don't know. I can't even wrap my head around it sometimes.
But you know what? If you think about it, like, who cares about all of that? Like, don't get caught up in the politics, and because then people they argue about this and that. Hey, you know what? They all came from the same people. You know what I mean?
No, I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, because it was the Thai group, they have a lot of different Thai, like you said, like Thai Dam, Thai Dang, Thai Isan, Thai Lao, Thai Pakse, or, they say Thai this, Thai that. They're all the same people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like they're overcomplicating a simple thing.
Yeah, they just kind of divided themselves into different tribes.
Now, do you read and write as well?
I know how to read Lao.
Okay.
I can just write a little bit. I taught myself through like an internet website, and then I bought like a book at the Talat Sao.
Wow.
The morning market. Yeah.
That's just amazing.
But I mostly picked up just by ear, just like listening and then repeating.
So what do you feel
and
about
asking a lot of questions?
Yeah, what do you feel about? It's amazing that you went from the West and you got really interested in the culture and you want to spread the culture, and then you have generations like me who were, I mean, I came over when I was like 6 months and still pretty much still a baby and stuff, and got assimilated into the American culture and don't even really can't speaks it a little bit, don't know how to read and write. It's interesting that how a lot of generations here that just forget the culture or just there's nowhere to go to learn about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some stuff out there, but it's poorly funded, it's poorly organized. But yeah, John, if you want to elaborate on that, or we can move on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that'd be great to like have them set up more programs, like in the communities or at the temples, or maybe I need to make a YouTube channel or something. You know what I mean? Like come together and
I think
try to
you got so much power where you see. It has to be ran by Lao folk. I mean, I'm not gonna be that dude, but I'm gonna be that dude and say, because I work for a lot of nonprofits that gear towards Kun Lao, Kun Mong, and I hate to say this, but they were ran by non-Lao folks or non-Hmong folks, and for someone from the outside to dictate what we should do in our communities, that's where it gets a little messy. Things are done wrong, and that's where I think organizations need to be ran by Laos folks, because they have a full understanding. Like, why would I run an African American community center?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's so weird, man.
Yeah. It's got to be someone that knows about the people and the culture, right?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, and knows what's best.
So Johnny,
yeah, you're right with that.
Why Laos? Was it because you kind of just was it your path? Was it destined to be? It could have been Cambodia, it could have been Vietnam, but ultimately you got connected through kind of like your journey in life, right? worked at a Thai restaurant.
Yeah, I
learned
think
about
it's
Laos.
my destiny, my fate, like calling, my
Yeah.
calling to do that. Cause like, I was just guided there, you know what I mean? Like, I just happened to find the can, I heard the sound, I fell in love with it. It's like, I really do believe that the higher calling brought me to that, and the destination was Laos.
Wow.
Because that is the origin of, the whole path I took. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I do believe that there's like a, higher purpose, like for me to do all that. And I that's my passion. You know what I mean? Like I never felt so passionate about music, as much as I do with loud music. Cause, before when I was younger, I played punk rock music and all those kind of things. And it was cool, but now all I want to listen to is Can and Molam all the time.
You did a total 180.
I don't really care too much about any other kind of music, It's like I want to
Wow.
listen to, those kind of music. So,
That's
that's
really cool.
some Lao people, they said, or even the monks said that, in my past life I was Lao. So, maybe I'm reincarnated to be Falang in this life.
That'll make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you live now? Are you still in California or?
No, I live in Minnesota right now.
The coldest climate.
Yeah, so I'm not too far from you. Yeah, I came out here to be with the love of my life. So,
Yeah.
we're here for now, and then we plan to move to Georgia next year.
Oh.
And in fact, at the end of this month, I'm gonna be going out to Georgia to perform for Laos Outfitters, which is a clothing company.
Yeah, they got some nice stuff, and I was on their website, and they had some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so
Are you part
we're
owner?
gonna do that.
Are you part owner of that?
Oh no, I just supporting,
Okay.
my friend, because my friend has always been there for me.
Sure.
He's invited me, over there as many times, and that community in Georgia has shown me like so much love, and
Yeah,
just
well,
really
we'd
love
love
it
to promote
over
them
there.
too. So if anyone, the people that are listening out there, what's the website to Laos Outfitters, Johnny?
Oh yeah, LaosOutfitters.com.
Yeah, if you guys
Yeah,
want to
that-
get some really cool apparel, good clothing company, honest people that are starting from grassroots business, man, and we gotta support that. But so they don't sponsor you a lot, Johnny? I mean, do they throw you some cash?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, they sponsor me, of course, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the thing about Laos Outfitters I like is that they're very high quality, like clothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, and they have a variety of stuff. But like when you touch the clothing, it's like higher quality kind of.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
not
Material.
It's not Gildan from Walmart.
Yeah, it's
Gildan
not
from-
like your everyday kind of cotton, 100% cotton shirt, kind of like that won't last that long.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Now, dude,
Yeah.
Johnny, man, what's your family's response to this all? I mean, are they supportive of
Family?
it? Yeah, your family.
Oh yeah, they love whatever I want to do. Yeah, they're very supportive
That's
of
awesome.
whatever makes me happy. So yeah.
Now,
No problem
no,
there.
yeah, that's good, man. Family support
Yeah.
definitely goes a long way.
Yeah.
I was sitting down last night just watching your videos, and one thing that popped in my head that is totally random right now was, what was your scariest moment in Laos, dude? Like, did anyone try to rob you? Did anyone try to take advantage
No,
of
actually,
you?
I never experienced anything bad. To tell you the
Wow.
truth, I'm not like lying at all. It's like I never had to fear, or I never had to like worry when I was in Laos. I always felt like it's so peaceful and nice, especially when I first went there, like, years back, it was like, because Vientiane was more like kind of almost like a ghost town in a way, because
Really?
it was very like quiet, you know what I mean? Like not too many tourists and not too many like, markets and shopping malls and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now it's getting more developed. But yeah, it's always been like so great over there. Just, traveling through Laos, like people are just so like, nice all the time, and like, I never felt like they're gonna like cheat me or lie to me about anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should listen
And,
to,
say like, for example, like you go to take like a jumbo or they call it tuk-tuk, like a taxi.
right.
They might want a little bit more, but hey, you know what? Who cares, man? Like they don't make it. that much money, I'm glad to help them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a dot,
That's the way I look at it. I mean, let's say you go shopping. Of course, I know the language. I'm gonna bargain. And I know when they're trying to rip me off. So but that's another thing. But yeah, I just like I'd rather help people though.
Yeah.
In fact, like there's a monk. His name is Ajahn Joy. He lives in California. Has a temple in Visalia, kind of near Fresno.
Okay.
And he's really cool because he'll like go to Laos and donate, to the poor, disabled, and the blind, and you know what I mean, the people who need help. And I've raised funds, to help him do that. When I perform for him, like all the money went to do that. So I really love to do those kind of things like charity and stuff.
Yeah, because Buddhism is so intertwined in the culture. I'm just curious if it's a philosophy that you've accepted or follow.
Say the last part again.
It's just Buddhism in general is like intertwined with Laos culture and even Thai culture. I was just wondering if it's a philosophy that you follow or you.
Oh, okay. I got the word now. Philosophy that I follow. Oh, yes, definitely. Yep.
Okay.
Because I consider myself like spiritual, like I don't want to label myself like, this or that. But with the two foundations that I really believe in is Buddhism and Christianity. Because I think that what Jesus and Buddha taught are very similar.
Right.
So I go like along with those things. I think in the end it's all about love, and just like just loving people, and just helping them, giving yourself up, for people, like, just kind of make it simple like that.
Yeah, before you were on, we were talking about that, and people complicate such simple things, and
Right.
I agree with you with the, Christianity and Buddhism being very similar. Have you read Thich Nhat Hanh's book, Living Buddha?
Yes, yeah, Living Buddha, Living Christ, yeah.
That kind of like, that was a book that kind of like, okay, it kind of woke me up to like, all right, there's more similarities there's more similarities than differences in religion, and it's unfortunate that we're fighting over, people are dying and people are going through wars over this shit. And Buddhism to me, I'm the same way as you, Johnny. I don't proclaim to identify with any religion, but if it was, it'd definitely be Buddhism and parts of Christianity,
Yeah, we need to remember what Buddha said is to take the middle way. Don't be extreme on either way, you know what I mean? And take whatever that works and apply that to your life.
Right.
Famous
words.
And there's always going to be good things in the Bible and good things like throughout the scriptures of, that they wrote down on the palm leaves of Buddha's teachings. But then again, we got to remember that all those things were written by men.
Right.
And they're not actually the words from their mouth. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because back then, they're the ancient language. I don't even think they could write that down, or nobody even could speak that language these days. So
Now,
but then we just go by what's good, and just follow that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes though, another question, since we're talking about religion, do you think we're pretty much Laos people are Theravada Buddhists, right, Sam?
Yeah, Theravada. Yeah.
Theravada. Now we have
Theravada,
a lot of superstitions too. Like, is it a mixture of like shamanism and Buddhism? Do you think? Well, I guess my question is like the OGs, the older generation, they're really superstitious too, to the point now where when we go takbar or by what they're. Do you think they really truly understand the teachings of the Buddha? Like, is it like any other culture that they dabble with it and they just practice it?
Well, according to the history of Laos, is that it started off to be animism, they say, where they believe in the spirits, like there's spirits everywhere, like in the trees and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Buddhism made its way over there, but still to this day in villages throughout Laos, they have an animistic kind of belief where there's no spirits and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of they combine both of them. Hold on one second. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just shown something, but I can't. Anyway, so go. What was the? Can you continue?
Yeah, I guess it's pretty vague. I don't know what I'm even really trying to say, but see, me and my mom, we go back and forth with Buddhism. Like we don't argue, but you know the way she interprets sasana or whatever, I interpret it different because I'm pure academic when I read into it. Where she is very traditional and old school.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now I'm getting back on track. Sorry, I was distracted. So you were talking about superstitions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What I believe, and this is my opinion, is that Buddhism never had superstitions, and that superstitions came along throughout the years by people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like those kind of things, like just kind of came about. But I, in my opinion, I don't believe that Buddha said, "Oh, this person has, to do this a certain way," or like it just doesn't sound right. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's complicating more things in your mind. And Buddha was about like trying to meditate, release all that crazy crap that's going around in your mind.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's a metaphor. It's like your mind is like a crazy monkey that's drunk and got stung by a scorpion. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. In every religion, there's basically the pure philosophy of it, and then there's the metaphysics, is what philosophy calls it, where people throw in extra additional things on top of it to make it either more extreme or more memorable or more, but I think there's an underlying like truth and philosophy to it that people can live by. And I think you could ignore some of the metaphysics.
Yeah,
definitely.
I know, because there's some kind of weird stuff like I've seen, like where they think that they can get the winning lottery number somehow.
We've all been through that,
like,
man.
No.
Yeah.
But, that is one of the main ones where they think, like, oh, I dreamt last night about the winning lottery number. But it's kind of funny in a way, but, like, I wouldn't really, like, put my money into that, so to speak.
Or they have a child pick the numbers for them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the kid picked that. But, hey, you know what was weird? I don't know if it's coincidence, but that happened to my wife, like when she was in the village.
Okay.
The little kid told them to put the money on, like, because in Laos they have like different animals or something like that.
Okay.
But they didn't listen to him. They thought he's like full of it, and actually it ended up being that one. So
wow.
I don't know. You take it with a grain of salt, so to speak, like But yeah.
That's another thing about Laos. It's so mysterious, dude. I've never been back there, but from hearing you share your story about it, I'm not sure if you listened to the podcast with Chef Pet, Jonny, but his story was really, really intense and very spiritual too. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's just mysterious for a reason. And when I hear you talking about it, I hear people like Pet talking about it, or my family talking about it. It is a pretty mysterious landlocked country in Southeast Asia. Now, do you think tourism is going to exploit it, or is it going to remain communist, where they're not going to allow it to get that exploited? What do you see Laos like in, let's say, 20 years from now? Is it going to...
Well, okay, let's see. It was getting a little bit out of hand with Vang Vieng, because the backpackers were just being crazy over there.
Yeah, that's a tourist spot, right? Yeah.
I didn't think that was the greatest thing that happened, but they put a kibosh or a smackdown or whatever you want to say, like, on that.
Like, what were they doing? Like, what were they doing, the tourists there? Were they just
what I heard, what I read is that the backpackers were like on drugs.
Okay.
And they were like doing inappropriate things, like as for the way they dress, or making too much noise, or just being like kind of stupid, and not really respecting the Lao culture or the Lao way of doing things. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because when I go to Laos and Thailand, I respect the culture. You know what I mean? Because it's not like in America where you have freedom to just like walk around in a Speedo or something.
Right.
So, it's not like that, so you got to respect those things. But see, in the future of Laos, what I think is what's going on right now is there's a lot of investment with the Chinese and the Vietnamese, and they're building a lot of shopping malls.
Oh,
So they
man.
are focusing on, kind of to get people, to go in and kind of like how do you say, consuming.
We don't
society,
we don't want Laos to look like parts of LA. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, but yeah, I know, I know what you mean, and I do agree. But I guess the way it has to come to these days is everybody thinks they have to turn to be modern. You know what I mean? They think that's the way to make money, because in the end, it's about making money. For every country out there,
Right.
they just want to make money, and they want to be modern. They want to have big buildings because they see it in a Hollywood movie or whatever. Or I want to have a car because, it's status. You know what I mean? It's about status. But what I think is funny is that in Vientiane, the roads, there's only like one lane, you know what I mean, on each side. But everybody has a car now, and it's like so much traffic, and you can literally like walk there way faster than you take your car. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
So it's kind of funny because back in the day, they used to walk, or they would take a bicycle, or, go on a motorcycle. But now it's, they've got money now because, the economy is getting a lot better. In fact, like when the economy was down in most of other countries and even America, Laos wasn't even doing bad. They're actually doing better. So,
Wow.
yeah.
No, so there's good to both sides of that, right? So yeah, there's money coming to Laos, but people are driving cars now. But I guess the downside of that is I watched this documentary where like a lot of the farmers can't even fire them off their land now, and he was like, "What's the point of a HDTV when I can't feed my family and go fishing and the dams that the Chinese are building?"
The dam.
Hello.
Yo, Alex.
Hold on, 1 second. Sorry.
Okay.
That they want to focus on, getting electricity from the dam. But yeah, I did hear about a farmer saying that, I can eat fish, but I can't eat electricity or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So they have to kind of, adapt, I guess, to the changing of, what's going on over there. But what I think that's cool though, I think that Laos is in tune with, tourists that go over there, by making it like seem like, kind of untouched or the unbeaten path sort of in a way, you know what I mean? Like make it more like about nature, like that zip lining thing. Did you see that? Where they like you zip line like right across from a waterfall.
Wow.
yeah, I have actually.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like in the forest, and you're like really like close to the waterfall. I was like, man, that's awesome. I gotta do that next time I go there. Yeah.
So, back to your music a little bit here. So, you've had a really interesting career, and so where do you see yourself, in the next, 5 or 10 years? What are some of your goals?
Oh, what I see myself doing, just the same stuff, like teaching can, I just would love to like collaborate with whoever, like, and probably eventually, make some kind of new album in the future, possibilities, endless, open to like, whatever, you know what I mean? But, I see myself in Georgia, and I see myself like, performing there or wherever else, cause there's a good community there. I see myself, traveling with my wife, get like a job in Georgia and, help my friend out with Laos Outfitters and,
So your Laos's or your Laos's wife. Your wife is Lao, right, Johnny? And
yeah, my wife
okay.
is Lao. Yeah,
Okay.
she's from the south, Laos.
Did you meet her in Laos, or you met her over here, or?
I met her in Minnesota through a friend.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, through mutual friends. So
There's a big.
I was
population.
out here performing. Yeah. What was that thing you said?
I was just saying there's a big Lao population in Minnesota I know of. Hmong and Lao.
Too, yeah.
Now is there?
Yeah, there's a big there's a lot of Hmong people. I think the biggest Hmong population in all of America
That's
in
crazy.
Minnesota. Yeah.
It's
The thing though about Minnesota is that the winters last so dang long. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And they don't really have too much going on as in the community or concerts and stuff that I've seen. And but in Georgia for me it's like because the weather's different, and then just places that the weather is like kind of warmer. They have more festivals, they have more things going on like outside and things like that.
Now, how old are you, Johnny?
Oh, I'm 35. Yeah.
Damn, you're okay. I thought you were.
How old do you think I was?
Around there. I just forget how old I am sometimes. I'm not saying we're old.
Yeah,
but I'm 34, and to hear you do this you did a lot, in 34 years of life.
Yeah, I know that. That's cool that you say that because my wife reminds me of that too, and then even other people would tell me that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm so blessed to have been able to do all that,
right?
And just really appreciate all the support and help that I had throughout all those years.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's all come from a lot of people, really, because like when I made my first album, like in Thailand, when I came back to California, there's a lot of Bangkok people that live in the area, like in Los Angeles, but they didn't really support me with that album. But then I went to some other places, like for example, in Virginia, they have a Wat Lao in there, Wat Lao Kutawong it's called. And they really supported me over there, and they gave me these ideas, like on my first album, that song "Good Pete Born," like you're born in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So they said that like as a joke, and I thought, hey, that's pretty funny, because yeah. And then they were very supportive. Like, you know what, Johnny, you got to go to Laos and make a album there, And I was thinking, yeah, that makes more sense. Because, before I didn't know really about the history of Molam and khene and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then as soon as I did that, it started to feel more natural.
Right.
Started to feel like, oh, this is kind of feels like right or whatever, So, yeah.
That is, again, back to only being 35 and experiencing all the shit you did, man. I gotta get a move on. I gotta catch up to you.
I know. I just followed my dream, and I didn't let anything stop me. Like it's funny because at the Thai restaurant, when I was saying like I'm gonna do all that, they used to call me Fun Paikon. You're a daydreamer or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're just laughing. They think it's crazy, and they're all very, very nice people. Like they took care of me when I went to Thailand to taking vacation. Really cool people, but they didn't think I could do it. But I didn't let that stop me, I just did it, I just went for it, and it happened, man. You just kinda pursue your goal, and you just know your calling, and you just don't let anything stop you, and
that's the cool thing about
doing forces will guide you.
Definitely. Johnny, man, hey, we with our previous guests, we just barely scratched the surface with this. I feel like I could talk to you for days, but unfortunately, we gotta time's running out. But
okay, yeah, no problem.
I really, dude, thank you
so
much.
Great
man.
to talk to you.
And I love to do this again, Johnny. Whenever you're free and got some downtime. I mean, like again, we just scratched the surface with this discussion with you, and I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, you're an inspiration, and we want to get this out there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'd love to inspire people.
So fuck yeah, Johnny. Let's do this again when maybe when you're back from Georgia, and tell us how it went, and get
okay, cool. I hope everything works out like with the everything of the sound and all that stuff you edit and all that.
Yeah, we got some really good sound people that are helping us out.
Oh, okay, good.
Khop chai lalada, Johnny.
Take care.
Oh yeah, khop chai lalai. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's be.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
So what do you think, Samo?
Wow, that was pretty cool.
Did you stop? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was